Hey everyone, this is C Crypto Daily Buzz. Today is March 5th, 2026. This channel summarizes the most important crypto news for investors in Southeast Asia, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and OFW communities using crypto and remittance every day. Let's go through 3 key stories you should know in today's crypto market. First, renewed institutional demand through US spot ETFs for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. US spot Bitcoin ETFs have recorded a third straight day of net inflows, totaling about $461 million, while spot Ethereum ETFs flipped back to net inflows of roughly $169 million after just one day of outflows. Fresh data shows that Bitcoin products led by BlackRock's IBIT took in around $306 million, with additional inflows across Fidelity, Bitwise, ARK, Invesco, Franklin, VanEck, WisdomTree, and even Grayscale's GBTC and Mini BTC funds. On the Ethereum side, issuers including BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, VanEck, and Grayscale all reported positive flows, with one of Grayscale's new mini funds alone attracting close to $60 million in a single day. For investors in Southeast Asia, including funds and family offices in Singapore and the Philippines, my view is that this pattern reinforces the idea that large regulated products are still absorbing supply on dips. It doesn't remove volatility, but it does suggest that every sharp correction is now competing with steady ETF demand from the US. Second, derivatives data shows that short sellers have been on the wrong side of this latest move. In the last 24 hours, about $315 million of BTC perpetual futures have been liquidated, and more than 87% of that was short positions, as Bitcoin pushed higher on rising spot volume and a positive Coinbase premium. Across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, forced liquidations on perpetual futures exceeded $450 million, with roughly 84% of those losses coming from traders who were betting against the market. Analysts note that open interest and leverage ratios are climbing together with price, but spot trading volumes and US-driven Coinbase premiums remain strong, which means that if spot buyers keep stepping in, an even sharper short squeeze is possible. In my view, especially for Southeast Asia traders in places like Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines, this is a classic squeeze environment. It feels tempting to short into every rally, but the structure actually favors patient spot buyers over aggressive leverage shorts. If you do use leverage, position size and clear invalidation levels become critical because 1 or 2 candles can wipe out an overconfident short. Third, a major enforcement story from Europe that matters for global crypto security. Europol has worked with Coinbase and Microsoft to dismantle one of the world's largest scam support platforms, known as Tycoon 2FA, by taking down its core infrastructure and hundreds of connected domains. According to new reports, Microsoft blocked about 330 domains linked to Tycoon 2FA, while Coinbase used blockchain analytics to trace transactions, identify the operators and many of the customers who bought access to the tool for phishing and account takeover attacks. Tycoon 2FA was allegedly used to bypass 2-factor authentication and drain funds from victims' accounts across multiple services, including crypto platforms and traditional financial apps. For investors and users in Southeast Asia, from OFWs using exchanges for remittance to retail traders in the Philippines and Vietnam, this is a positive step but also a warning. Authorities and major companies are getting better at shutting down large-scale infrastructure, yet individual users still need to double-check URLs. Beware of address poisoning and lookalike interfaces, and treat any unusual login request as a red flag. To sum up today's stories, US spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs are seeing strong net inflows again, signaling renewed institutional demand. Derivatives data shows that shorts are being squeezed as spot-driven buying pushes BTC higher, and in Europe, Europol, Coinbase, and Microsoft have helped shut down a major scam platform, reminding all crypto users in Southeast Asia to stay vigilant about security. This video is for information and education only and is not financial advice. All investment decisions and risks are your own responsibility. If this video was helpful, please consider subscribing, liking, and turning on the notification bell. Thanks for watching C Crypto Daily Buzz, and I'll see you in the next episode.